Hey everyone, I'm Tešija from Discord. To truly ensure a cohesive experience for your server's members, you need to first learn how to leverage roles and permissions. Today, we're diving deep into how you can use these powerful features to build a well-organized, secure, and ridiculously fun environment for your players. So, what exactly are roles? Think of them as customizable labels or tags you can assign to server members that can provide different levels of access, notifications, or other experiences within your server. Each role can have its own set of permissions, a distinct color, and even appear separately in the member list. For game developers, this is essential. You can create roles for alpha testers, moderators, your dev team, influencers, and more. This helps you control access, manage your community, and tailor experiences. Okay, let's get practical. To create a role, head to your server settings here. Click your server name, then server settings. From there, select the Roles tab. You'll see a default @everyone role. We'll get to that. For now, click the Create Roles button to create a new one. Let's name our first role Alpha Testers. Go ahead and pick a color for this role to make it stand out the way you'd like. We'll tackle permissions for this role in just a moment. Before we dive into the next tab within the Edit page for the role permissions, let's set the foundation on role hierarchy. Roles are organized in a list, and their order is critical. Think of it like a ladder. Roles higher up have more influence. For example, if a user has multiple roles, their name color will be determined by their highest colored role. More importantly, this hierarchy is vital for moderation. Your server will have administrators and moderators. Administrators typically oversee the server's overall health and rules, with broad control to manage members and other moderators. Moderators, chosen by admins, focus on daily community health, ensuring rules are followed, managing messages, and handling members who violate guidelines. The best moderators are often seasoned community members themselves. Now, for the hierarchy's impact. Members can't kick, ban, or manage users who have a role equal to or higher than their own highest role. So, always ensure your admin or moderator roles are placed above general member roles. This is crucial because a role can only manage or assign permissions to roles below it in the hierarchy. This ensures your admins and mods always have the necessary permissions to manage all other members, regardless of the roles those other members might possess, allowing them to efficiently respond to issues and keep the server safe. Okay, let's assign some permissions. Back in the roles settings, select your alpha testers role. You'll see a list of toggles. These are your server-wide permissions. They apply across the entire server unless overridden by channel-specific permissions. For our example, we'll be using the alpha tester role that we created for the members who have specifically been chosen to participate in the alpha tests of our game. We can give them permissions to read message history and attach files in their chat. For example, if they have some screenshots they want to share. Now, a word of caution about the administrator permission. This is the most powerful permission. It grants every single permission in the server and allows users with it to bypass all channel-specific permission checks. Granting this role to any user or apps should be done with extreme caution. A member with this permission could potentially delete all your channels, wipe out roles, or cause other massive disruptions if not properly configured or if their account is compromised. So only grant administrator if absolutely necessary, and you implicitly trust the user or app. Often, it's safer to enable all other necessary permissions for a role, but without administrator. This way, you can set your server up to provide yourself an extra layer of protection. If you do grant administrator to anyone, we highly recommend enabling two-factor authentication for your server for added security. Keep in mind that some permissions, like manage server, kick members, or ban members, are especially powerful. If your server has two-factor authentication enabled for moderation activities, users might need to have two-factor authentication on their own accounts to use these permissions. Server-wide permissions are great, but what if you need finer controls for specific channels or categories? That's where channel overrides come in. You can set channel-specific permissions by right-clicking a channel or category, select Edit Channel or Category, and go to Permissions. Here, you can add roles or even individual members and change how permissions behave just for that channel or category. A green check means allow, a red X means deny, and a slash means it inherits from server permissions or its parent category. Discord checks permissions in these orders. First, it looks at any channel overrides set directly for that individual user. If none, it checks for channel overrides for any roles that user has, starting from the highest role in the hierarchy. Then, it looks at channel permissions for the everyone role. Finally, if no specific channel overrides are found at any of those levels, it falls back to the user's general server-wide role permissions. Understanding this order is key. Here's a crucial point about channel overrides and conflicts. If a user has multiple roles with conflicting channel permissions, Discord generally prioritizes an explicit allow over an explicit deny. For example, if a muted role denies send messages, but a VIP role allows send messages in the same channel, the user will likely still be able to send messages. To ensure deny takes effect in such cases, you often need to set the deny permission higher in the hierarchy. Use a user-specific override, or remove the conflicting allow role. The takeaway? Use as few channel overrides as possible to keep things clear and avoid confusion. When setting up these permissions, it's often a best practice to set up permissions in a tested environment to make sure it functions the way you want. Let's tie this all together with some suggestions for game dev scenarios. Private alpha-beta channels. For your alpha feedback category or channels, edit the permissions to deny the @everyone role view channel. Create an alpha testers role. Then, explicitly grant the alpha testers role read and write channels to those specific channels. Developer mod-only channels. Create a dev team role. Give this role permission to post in an announcement channel, while @everyone only has read access. Read-only rules channel. For your rules channel, deny @everyone the send messages permission. Muted role setup. Create a muted role. Then for each channel, where you want to restrict them, go into channel permissions, add the muted role, and set send messages and add reactions to deny, the red X. This manually replicates what many apps do to effectively silence a user in text channels. Here are some quick tips for managing your game server permissions. Start with the @everyone role to set base, usually minimal permissions, then build up with other roles. Keep your role hierarchy logical. Your moderator roles should be above general member roles. Use the administrator permission with extreme caution. Only grant it when absolutely necessary and to fully trusted users or apps. Consider if a role with many individual permissions enabled would suffice instead. Regularly audit your permissions and check your audit log, especially as your community grows. The audit log shows a history of moderation actions and can't be edited. Use category permissions to sync settings across multiple channels and save time. Use as few channel overrides as possible to keep things manageable and avoid permission conflicts. Clearly communicate what your different roles mean to your community members. Now let's explore an exciting way to dynamically assign roles and tailor the player experience right from the start: Discord's custom onboarding feature. This feature allows you to present new users with a set of custom questions when they join your server. Their answers can then automatically assign roles, which in turn determines what channels they see or what information they receive. Please note that the onboarding setting is exclusively available for community servers. We discuss enabling community servers in more detail in another video, linked in the description below. As a quick reminder, you can enable community features by going to your server settings, then scrolling down the left sidebar and clicking Enable Community. Once your server is set up as a community server, you can then head to your server settings and navigate to the onboarding option. Here, you can create a series of questions with multiple choice answers. The key is that you can assign specific roles or channels to each answer. Imagine you're developing a game that offers various experiences, like a competitive multiplayer mode, a challenging speedrun option, and a rich single-player campaign. Through onboarding, you could ask new members, what part of the game are you most interested in? Based on their selections, for example, choosing multiplayer, speedrunning, or campaign, you can assign them specific roles. These roles can then unlock different pockets of your community, such as channels dedicated to looking for group for multiplayer enthusiasts, speedrunning records and tips for competitive players, or campaign lore discussion for those focused on the story. This allows you to build cohorts of like-minded people and ensure players see content most relevant to them. We've seen other game studios ask what language, region, or platform do you play on at onboarding to customize the localization and channel experience. You can also have players accept your server rules as a part of their onboarding experience. This dynamic rule assignment can also be used for other purposes, such as identifying players interested in testing unstable builds or providing feedback on early access features. We'll dive deeper into leveraging Discord for community feedback, game QA, and early access in another video. That's the deep dive into Discord roles and permissions. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below.